Some people say that winter begins on December 21st for the winter solstice. This website's saying December 1st, but either way, it's pretty freaking cold out there. Not just one day or 2 days, stagger with warm days of chem rain. We've actually had some serious cold here, so snowstorm strikes Middle East and North Africa, and we also had over 2,000 cold and snow records set in USA this past week. They said there was an imbalance in the weather records this week. Even the AGU fall meeting in San Francisco, where the best and brightest global warming scientists were surrounded by a record 25 degrees on December 9th and a near record-setting low temperatures, though the irony was lost on many of them. It's funny because I was going to include an article from the Sacramento Bee or something, basically, somewhere out in that area near San Francisco, and they actually played it down. They said, "Oh, this isn't the coldest on record. Actually, it was, 1932 or whatever, or 1918." And they had a little black and white picture of some woman. So they were just actually trying to make it a non-story that it was freaking cold out there. It says the Egyptian capital of Cairo also saw snowfall for the first time in 112 years. Greenpeace's Santa threatens to cancel Christmas due to global warming. This was in the UK. They're soliciting donations to combat global warming with a video entitled An Urgent Message from Santa. The video features a deeply depressed, creepy-looking Santa who claims that melting ice at the North Pole will force him to cancel Christmas unless world leaders act to stop global warming. But the only thing this doom and gloom Santa has in common with the beloved Jolly St. Nick figure is his familiar-looking red and white suit. So he's speaking to the children, I guess. Dear children, I bring bad tidings. The melting ice here at the North Pole has made our operations and day-to-day life intolerable and impossible. My home in the Arctic is fast disappearing. Unless we act urgently, then I have to warn you the possibility of an empty stocking forever. I guess it was the actor from Downtown Abbey. There wasn't a chemtrail forecast on the weatherspace.com, but they did have an updated Harps status for North America. The current long-wave frequency magnitude readings were low to medium, basically over half the country, but centered around Illinois. And here's the building frequency and weakening frequency. But the last one that they had, I wanted to cover it. It was on Friday. But the cold's been affecting me too. I actually had my radiator freeze up, so I've been dealing with that. But they were spraying the hell out of us. You've probably seen it. I actually saw 5 planes, and really there were 7, but I couldn't see them. They ended up coming from the other direction. About 5 to 7 planes over the, just overhead and from horizon to horizon. So it was massive spraying, and all the aerosols that they were spraying were being harped. So, and this was actually all red. So they were really pulsing us. I even had a headache for like 2 days straight. It's crazy though that Greenpeace won't be more, fervent about environmentalism when it comes to something like Fukushima. What is happening to Alaska? Is Fukushima responsible for the mass animal deaths? We've seen them other places, but they're asking why huge numbers of dead birds dropping dead and washing up along the coastlines of Alaska. Many of the carcasses are dead birds, broken, open, and bleeding. It's been reported that large numbers of polar bears, seals, and walruses in Alaska are being affected by hair loss and oozing sores. The authorities are claiming that it's due to disease and harsh weather. I remember when the other ones, the birds were dying, they were saying that it was cold weather and they were basically starved to death. There's been a decent amount of stories about deep sea creatures being caught as well, or such the case out in the west coast, I believe California, those large eel things or snake-like things washing up to shore dead. So that maybe there is something going on down at the bottom of the ocean. There's also what they're doing with the weather modification is they're manipulating the jet streams, but also the streams in the ocean, the Gulf streams and that. So, but there could be lots of seismic activity. Who knows? Animals, fish, mammals, they're all sensitive to what's going on, changes. Fukushima aftermath, 98% of the Pacific ocean floor covered by dead sea creatures. It was according to a shocking study. Studies has been going on for about 24 years, and they've never seen anything like it before. This is from the 9th. I've covered it. Outdoor radiation at Fukushima reading 75 sieverts per hour. It was the highest levels ever, and that's after March 2011 when it happened. But it says here that they've been measured at 25. A total dose of SV is regarded as severe radiation. 6 SVs produce a 100% mortality rate after 30 days of suffering. Another toxin or poison, GMO, China rejects 5th U.S. corn cargo in a month citing GMO strain. They blocked a cargo of U.S. corn since mid-November after testing found a strain of GMO corn not yet approved for import. 3 more cargoes may also be refused. So, what does that mean? It's just a matter of time. Just paperwork needs to catch up, and then they'll allow other people to eat the crap. So actually they say this down here. Observers believe that it has less to do with the corn and more to do with other trade quarrels between the two countries. GMO consumption and gluten sensitivity or gluten-related disorders are basically accompanied by and triggered by intestinal permeability, which is commonly referred to as leaky gut. This occurs when gaps form between the intestinal cells and large particles from the digestive tract enter the bloodstream, potentially triggering immune or allergic reactions. The Bt toxin produced by GMO corn kills insects by punching holes in their digestive tract, and a 2012 study confirmed that it punctures holes in human cells as well. The toxin survives human digestion and has been detected in the blood of 93% of pregnant women tested and 80% of their unborn fetuses. The hole-punching toxin may be a critical piece of the puzzle in understanding gluten-related disorders. Then in Manchester, in England, protesters block a fracking test site with a wind turbine blade. So I don't know how the hell they got a blade. These things are humongous. You see them on the semis, sometimes on the highways, but it says that they've blocked access to the shale gas drilling site with a 1.5-ton wind turbine blade tied up with a Christmas bow. The activist group says the act is symbolic and the UK should be pursuing more environmentally friendly energy sources than to bottled water. You already know most of this, but they leach 24,000 chemicals in your body, says a study. So just because it's BPA free doesn't mean that it's free of these harmful chemicals. German research found that 24,000 of such chemicals in any given bottle of water, some of them causing hormone-disrupting effects. Out of the 18 different bottled water products, 13 had significant anti-estrogenic activity, and 16 out of the 18 the body's androgen receptors by 90%. In other words, the bottled water was largely wreaking havoc on the human body. Then toys containing cancer chemicals, which could cause infertility, have been seized from the market. They're called fruit head dolls. They come with strawberry, apple, tomato-shaped heads, and they contain these phthalates, which could cause tumors to develop. And this was in Europe. They said anyone who bought them but failed to hand them in faces 6 months in prison and 5,000 euros, or pounds, I think. Sperm BOTS, remote-controlled sperm for guaranteed delivery. The sperm cells are basically motorized packets of DNA that these German scientists realized that they could be trained, or rather entrained, that might be harnessed to a creative end. So it's kind of a technical article, but it says here that it's more of a sperm boat made of tapered tubes of iron and titanium. Since the sperm deploy just a single flagellum and don't have a reverse gear, if they don one of these tubes, they wear it for life. They can control the exact heading of the sperm by manipulating external magnetic fields which tug at the iron and nanoparticles embedded in the tube. It could increase the speed of the sperm by increasing the temperature, and in principle, local temperature control through focused lasers might even allow individual sperm to be directly selected for a higher purpose, whatever that means. But then you have a robot telemarketer who denies she's a robot. It says, our encounter with an all too convincing robot.
Hello, how are you today?
Okay, how are you?
Good. Well, I'm calling about an online request you once made about health insurance coverage. We work with all major companies and compare all the rates for you. I can get you a quote in about 5 minutes, okay?
Are you a robot?
I am a real person. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine, but you sound like a robot.
I understand. Can we continue?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm calling about an online request you once made about health insurance coverage.
Okay.
I work with all major companies and compare...
Hey, are you a robot?
What? No, I am a real person. Maybe we have a bad connection. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's crazy. I see you just sound so much like a robot.
I am a real person. Maybe we have a bad connection. I'm sorry about that.
Will you tell me you're not a robot? Just say I'm not a robot, please.
I am a real person.
I mean, I believe you, but
Then to this article, NASA unveils Valkyrie robot for DARPA competition. And it's designated R5 by NASA. It's 1.9 meter tall, 125 kilograms in weight, and 44 degrees of freedom. Battery-powered humanoid robot. They'll be able to walk over uneven terrain, climbing a ladder, using tools, and driving. And so it basically has the capability that a person would to be able to operate on these tight or same spaces under the control of humans who have only minimal training with robots, which is why the robot's design is based on a human form. The goal is to help drive innovation towards robots that are able to take over from humans directly without needing any special accommodations. They say a human form makes sense because we're humans, and these robots will be doing the jobs that we don't want to be doing because they're too dangerous. But we all know what that means, right? Only 31% of Americans work 40 hours a week, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. These things become more automated, and robo-sourcing continues, including the mail. Canada to stop delivering mail to city homes over 5 years. We've heard of Amazon possibly using drones to deliver. And Amazon has so much pull, so much commerce going on that they're actually going to have the post office deliver on Sundays. I guess the post office tried that before and it wasn't profitable, but now they're going to do it. But who knows, maybe Amazon will just buy over the postal service altogether. If they can make shipping cheap enough, for whatever, however they can do it with drones or whatever, then you could see like most retail stores actually close down, everything being done through Amazon, through one company. Kind of like the Costco, right? In that movie Idiocracy. Google buys Boston Dynamics. That's kind of a big deal. Big Dog, Cheetah, Wildcat, Atlas have joined Google's growing robot menagerie. So, Boston Dynamics is an engineering company that's designed mobile research robots for the Pentagon. They're also known for their machines that walk with an uncanny sense of balance and even cheetah-like runs faster than the fastest humans. The deal is the clearest indication that Google is intent on building a new class of autonomous systems that might do anything from warehouse work to package delivery and even elder care. So, good for them. And eventually, the AI will just take over. I think it's already up and running. Much of this stuff is probably not even being controlled by humans. It's being controlled by the computer system itself. So Facebook develops algorithm that will learn everything about you from photos and gives details to advertisers. They'll analyze and make sense of shared content from photos to likes. They've even, I think they've even started now to where they'll make comments for people based off what they think they'll say. There's a new lab being set up in New York specifically to study and improve artificial intelligence systems. If you still use Facebook, whatever, but I guess you're entitled, but Facebook is keeping track of every post you write and don't publish. So even if you don't publish it, you don't press enter and you write it there, it still saves it. The deep learning professor is going to head to Facebook Artificial Intelligence Lab, one of the most prominent artificial intelligence researchers in the world. He'll be joining the company to direct a massive new AI effort spread across the offices in California, New York, and London. Currently, you can try to ask Facebook to show friends from college who are married, live in Boston, generates data instantly rather than showing a pre-existing web page. It says that I can't ask Facebook to show me pictures of this. But this work would change this new director or whatever, making it possible, for example, to even ask Facebook which of my friends had babies recently and get a reasonable answer, complete with photos, and even if new parents had never explicitly said that a baby was born. Watch out for those mannequins when they're shopping. Apparently they have facial recognition cameras in their eyes.